Hello! Welcome back to another episode of SML Sidelines Sports Podcast. You're joined once again by the wonderful Zach Jazzy and two other people.
Humble.
Why don't you guys introduce Introduce yourselves.
I'm Spencer Mellon.
And I'm Haley McGoldrick.
Nice, and I'm Lance McChance. How's everyone doing today?
Great, Lance. Thanks
Lance is our humble leader.
Landon McChastity.
Landon McChastity, indeed. So, interesting couple weeks in sports here. It was 2 weeks since we last recorded,
Yeah, because
right?
it was reading week.
We did have our little spring break for all you American listeners.
We did. You didn't, Mr. Working Man.
Yeah, I work a full-time job because I'm an adult. But,
Adult.
Makes bank.
I do have fat stacks, as the children say.
Yeah.
As the youths say.
Good youth.
No, I'm kidding. I'm broke. But it was an interesting couple weeks. We're going to talk a lot about hockey. We're going to go through the trade deadline, give our insights on what's actually going on. We got to talk about basketball. There's some interesting games that were played. The Raptors had a fun one against the Celtics last night. We're gonna dive deep into that. We also get to talk about how the Memphis Grizzlies were able to tear apart the Lakers. That is going to be interesting. And just talk a little bit about basketball. Some interesting football news as well from the CFL. We're
Very
break
interesting.
The death of a legend in memoriam.
Yeah. Well, it may not be the death. There are other leagues around, as we've discussed.
His CFL career is over.
Yeah, the CFL career is over. So we are going to break the hiatus and talk about the CFL for maybe 2 minutes.
Literally 2 minutes.
And then, we'll see where it takes us. So let's get right into it. NHL trade deadline. Some very interesting trades were done.
Making some money moves.
I'm not really sure what in the world is going on in Ottawa.
Literally, Matt Duchene, why do they... I know that was before the deadline, but like what...
They're trading everyone.
They're tanking. They're tanking. They're just selling the house.
It looks like on the opposite end, the Blue Jackets are like... We're
Stacking
trying.
up.
We're going for this.
They're ready. But no, the funny thing that we were talking about before is the fact that the Senators are tanking, and they're doing a wonderful job at it. Except they don't have their first round pick this year.
No, they're tanking for the Colorado Avalanche, fortunately.
When is it? 2020 they get a first round pick?
That's when their first one is back.
So when they traded for Matt Duchene, they traded their first round, their 2019
That was
first
this
round
year.
pick.
That's gonna
And
be
then
some
Matt
sick
Duchene started
prospect.
talking shit about the Sens in an Uber, and
And then
it
he
just
went to the
kind of
Blue
went
Jackets.
downhill. And then they traded Matt Duchene, so now they don't have Matt Duchene, and they don't have their first round pick. But yeah, it was very interesting to see really what's going on in Ottawa. We also saw the fact that they traded Zingle to Columbus right away, and then sending Mark Stone to Vegas. Those are some definitely interesting trades.
Yeah.
I really like Mark Stone in Vegas.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good. Vegas obviously had an unprecedented year last year.
Yeah.
They were never going to replicate the success.
No chance.
No, but they also traded... The thing that kills me about the Golden Knights, and I always say this, because I was really rooting for them, because my Blackhawks didn't make the playoffs. Anyways. They, were all these, third-line grinders who, nobody gave a fuck about. Their teams were whatever, go play in Vegas. Then they had this phenomenal year, and then all these teams were like, oh, we want this guy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they weren't going to replicate that success because all their best players got picked up by, better teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like the narrative with Vegas was they had the underdog story in the sense that every single person on that team was someone who wasn't wanted by another team.
Exactly.
But that kind of gave everyone something to prove on that team, and they were given the opportunity with the ice time, and they were given the opportunity to actually showcase their talents because they
That's what I'm
had
saying.
some really, really good players.
That's what I'm saying. They were really underappreciated on the teams they were on. So then when Vegas was the thing, their teams gave them away, no second thought, whatever, go have fun. And they were like, screw you guys. We're great players and we're going to prove it.
Yeah.
And they made it to the Stanley Cup.
Which I think
can't say that about 30 other teams.
Yeah.
I think that speaks more about the never-ending parity of the NHL, where it seems like one player can get hot and suddenly a team that you thought had zero chance of going anywhere is suddenly in the finals. And I think it also spoke to Nashville and Winnipeg beating the crap out of each other in that second round, and then Nashville just had nothing left in the Western Conference Finals, and Vegas just took them down.
Honestly, like it was a mix of that. It was a mix of like really feisty players. It was a mix of Marc-Andre Fleury,
Hot
like,
goaltending.
absolutely insane.
Vesna.
William Karlsson coming out of nowhere with an amazing
40
season.
goals?
Like
What?
who saw that coming?
Real
What
deal
was he at
James
this year?
Neal?
The
Like
real
10?
deal James Neal as well. What'd you say?
What is William Karlsson at net this year for goals? Like 10 maybe?
Honestly, not.
Like I have not heard about him
I-
once.
He has 39 points in 64 games.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you replace James Neal with Max Pacioretty, it just kind of goes downhill there.
Scumbag Pacioretty.
Yeah, poor guy. I like Pacioretty. I mean, he was a hab, but that's okay.
I don't like his grin, his shit-eating grin. Really gets me riled up.
So you're obviously not too pleased with him.
No,
No,
but I
but-
don't like I'm not rooting for the Knights by any means.
Patches is also like not doing terrible. He's only played 51 games because he got hurt. I can't remember what it was though. But he has 34 points.
Yeah, no,
He's
he's a great
20
player.
goals.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he's a really good player. I think he just kind of was hoping that
They'd be better.
they would be better, but they're still fine.
Oh,
like
they're gonna make the
they're third in the Pacific right now. They have a winning record. But I guess we'll see how it pans out. And they just acquired a top 5-10 winger. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Mark Stone's been
Mark
phenomenal.
Stone is going to be insane. We can talk about some other trades as well.
Yes.
One that I was very interested in was Wayne Simmons going to Nashville because Nashville's going for it.
Yeah.
Nashville is going for it, and I am excited. They also got Granlund as well from the Wild. Like, I mean, they did give up Fiala for that, and Fiala is a good player, but like it takes good players to get good players, and I think Granlund, a fresh face, and also like a really skilled hockey player. But getting Wayne Simmons, that just like going back to your point about the Preds versus the Jets, that series.
Yeah.
That's a guy that you want on your team in a feisty Western Conference second round.
Jets are a big team too. They are a big team. Blake Wheeler. They have I think Tyler Myers plays for the Jets.
Yeah,
as well.
Tyler Myers and
Like,
Dustin
they're a
Byfuglien.
Huge team, and a guy like Wayne Simmons. He's not the largest guy in the world, but he's very physical. I think he's like 6'2", like 220 or something. He's a big guy.
He's a bit taller than that, I think.
Is he a bit taller?
Check.
All I know is he plays hard. He plays hard. He's physical. He's strong. A lot stronger than.
Oh no, he is 6'2". He's 6'2".
What does he weigh?
I could check. No, he's one of those gritty guys. He's the kind of
Is that a gritty reference?
I love Gritty.
I like that. No, it was not intentional, but I guess there is a gritty reference there because he used to play for Philly, but not anymore.
No, it's funny because not that I love hockey. I just, like I said, I don't have cable in my apartment, so it's a struggle.
Retweet.
I literally, the only Flyers I could name are Giroux and Wayne Simmons, and now he's not even a Flyer.
Voracek?
Gostisbehere.
I don't know who that is. Oh, actually, I do.
Shane Gostisbehere? The
I
Ghost
remember-
Bear.
I know the
Ghost
name,
Bear.
but I'm just saying, if you had to ask,
If you put
me,
a gun to my head and told me to name
if
like
you told me
10
to Flyers, I
Flyers,
could not do it. No, I would.
Does Steve Mason still play for? Oh, no, he's for the Jets now.
Yeah,
That's about my level.
But yeah.
You got a couple there. You got Ivan Provorov.
I forgot about him, but I know who he is.
But no, Wayne Simmons, 180 pounds, by the way.
Wow, he looks a lot. Well, he's lanky.
Well, like
but
he
he's
also
super
wears
strong.
hockey gear.
Yeah, that's
Look
right.
bigger.
He's strong. He's just super strong.
Him and I have the exact same height and weight,
That's wow.
and he would kick my ass up and down every floor ever.
See, that's like I'm the same height and weight as Chris Paul. And did you see that video of him after the game the other night against the Warriors, where he started working? That guy's cut. Like he is ripped, and he's actually 5 pounds heavier than me, but same height. And that dude is absolutely shredded, and I'm rocking the half dad bod, half in shape look right now.
Okay, we can. We'll talk a bit more about hockey. I'm going to go into some Leafs talk here. Leafs have won their last two. Nazem Kadri is still out, unfortunately.
Concussion, yeah.
He does have a concussion. I don't know what the timeline, though.
No, but I don't think they're in any rush to get him back. He's going to be a key component for them in the playoffs, and what they want is they don't want to rush him back. They want him to come back 100% healthy. The Leafs, as I see them now, are in no danger of missing the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs for sure. And then I don't think Kadri's going to be the difference between that. I think he will be the difference in between whether or not they're going to have a long playoff run or if they'll be out in April.
That center depth is real important for being able to go line after line and just have like 3 incredible centers.
Especially against the Tampa Bays of the league. Like, they're just stomping on the league right now.
The Tampa Bay Lightning have been stupid this year, man. I don't understand it.
Braden Point and
They have a high
Kucherov,
points.
man.
I said last year when they went for like McDonough and like JT Miller and like all those guys, like they're like win now. Like they're like, we gotta do it right now.
Well, they attempted to.
They do, but I'm just saying, like, if they don't win within the next 3 years, like, is Kucherov still on that entry level contract, or has he finally?
He's about to sign a fat contract.
Because his entry level contract is stupid low for how incredible he is.
Yeah.
He's making like no money.
Well, entry levels are
So
I know, but
usually in the
his second
thousands,
contract,
right?
his second contract is I think what Haley's referring to. It was like only
Yeah.
like $6 million.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say he's no
Which
longer on
compared-
ELC.
No, compared
Sorry,
to
but,
what
like,
he's
but-
producing.
Yeah, exactly. For how good he is, his contract was like nothing.
No, yeah. I don't think he's on his big contract.
His cap hit right now is 4.76 mil.
Like hilarious. Like,
you kidding?
I think he's literally like one of the best value players in the NHL.
Yeah, so he's
Like-
gonna make some money, but that's the thing. They're not gonna be able to. You're trying to tell me you're gonna be able to pay Vasilevsky? Is that their name?
Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky,
Steven
JT Miller,
Stamkos.
Steven Stamkos, Kucherov, Ryan McDonough, like.
Braden Point is still on his ELC for I think one more year. Doesn't he have like 70 plus points right now?
Yeah, like you can't pay all those players at once. Like
No.
if they don't win now, they can't afford to pay everyone.
No, because you can't just expect guys to take like huge pay cuts for the
No.
sake of the team. Because
Well, that's the thing. That was the thing with the Senators. Like they expected Erik Karlsson to take a pay cut just because
he's been there so long.
like Erik Karlsson's one of the best defensemen in the league. He's not going to take a pay cut for you, Eugene.
Kucherov already signed an extension,
Well, what's his extension looking like?
9.5 mil.
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine that kicks in, what their cap situation's looking like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got Stamkos tied up for some hefty money as
Yeah,
well, right?
they've got him like
Yeah.
I think $8 million a year.
Shit.
It should be like at least that. I honestly think it's more than
I
that.
think he signed for 8 times 8 with them. Or actually, it might have been 8.5.
Was it the Phil Kessel, the 8x8
That was Phil Kessel. I think it might have been 8.5.
Stamkos,
For Stamkos.
contract? Let's see. I've been so bad at like keeping up with like 8.5.
Yeah.
Keeping up with like the business side of the sport this year. I've just been
Yeah,
focusing on the players.
A lot more focused on players, and then like in terms of business, like NBA has definitely been bigger for me this year.
But yeah, we can talk. We can talk a bit more about the Leafs. They've got a couple. Haley hates when we talk about the Leafs. The old regime was all Leafs, with our 2 good friends, Evan Lotz and
What do you mean the old
Liam
regime? I was
Burke.
still there.
That's the old regime, though.
2/3
You got
of the old
2
regime.
beautiful new faces.
Yeah, they used to sit and talk about the Leafs for like half an hour.
Yeah, we won't talk about the Leafs for half an hour.
Don't worry.
Only 20 minutes.
Leafs are gearing up for a playoff run. They're ready to bet on their youth, and I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting to see how it goes.
Yeah, Mitchell Marner is tearing it up too.
Mitch Marner.
I love Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
John Tavares as well.
Matthews is 30 goals in
Can
like
we-
50 games or something stupid.
Yeah, he hit 30 and 48.
I think he's like 4 goals behind Tavares and like 14 games less played or something hilarious. And like Tavares is still on like a tear in terms of goals.
Yeah, 5 games behind and 5 goals behind, 14 games behind.
Yeah, like
That's silly.
stupid.
This
And,
guy's just a goal scorer.
Oh,
like
he's-
that's what he's about, man.
Nylander's starting to find his stride a bit more as he sort of gets up to speed, as he doesn't have to get saddled with like the 4th line.
Yeah.
So I think the Leafs are poised to make a good run, and I think
I've been liking this this Nylander at center deal.
well he was a center when he was playing for in the Swedish league,
Yeah.
and when he put up like the best season by an 18-year-old since Matt Sundin. Like he was a center.
Funny you bring that up because not saying they're going to do this, but Kadri was drafted as a winger.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck?
They could, like, I think they would be a good look for them is staggering Kadri and Nylander at center. Like they kind of do this for like face-off purposes, but like I think it'd be a good luck to get a guy like Kadri out on the wings, like more sort of in the corner, while you get Nylander as a facilitator of the offense.
The other thing that you could do too is like Well, they're playing on the same line, right? Just have Kadri out there take the face off and then switch.
Yeah, and like when you're on this when they're on their strong sides, like have Kadri on the left, Nylander on the right side. That's their strong side for taking face-offs.
Well, I mean, Mike Babcock is one of the best coaches in the history of the game, so like I'm sure he's thought about this. But that's just interesting. Yeah.
Like they did it with Matthews and Nylander last year. Like Matthews would always take face-offs on the left side, Nylander would take them on the right side. Like Nylander's a very capable face-offs man. It's not like he's a liability like some.
Kadri's just really good on the draw.
Yeah, he's just so strong, right?
Yeah.
He's very quick.
He's got the highest percentage on our team.
Does he?
Actually, he's kicking right with Nylander, but Nylander has a much smaller sample size. But Kadri's at 53.37%. Nylander's at 53.55%.
Yeah.
Tyler Ennis with 100% face-off.
Well, there's like 3 that he's maybe taken.
Yeah, that's hilarious when I see those.
I love seeing those random outliers. Like that's just all sports too, where you'll see like somebody's, especially this always happens with the NBA and like the per 36 minute stats where somebody played like 2 minutes and scored like a 3-pointer and then it's like they average like 100 points per like 36 minutes and you're just like, oh, best player of all time.
Honestly.
Move out of the way, Michael. Get out of here, LeBron.
There you go. You sound like Skip Bayless bringing MJ up first there. I don't know.
That's what people tend to do.
I don't know about that one, but that's a conversation for another day. But we will jump into some basketball.
Yeah, I think
if we wanna go there.
Yeah, where do we want to start, Haley? What do you
Our facilitator.
The Celtics are trash. That's what I have to say.
I will gladly start with the Celtics are trash.
Spencer and I were talking, and it's just, I know I say this all the time, but it's just so baffling how you can have so many incredible players on one team and just the teamwork is not there.
They hate each other. I'm convinced.
They must hate each other. And the thing is, I think people say LeBron is a cancer in the locker room, and I think he kind of is, because I think
we're going to get into that.
Because I think that LeBron can't handle other people being successful around him. And I don't, like, when I say that, I mean that's just, like, it has to be about LeBron 24/7. You know what I mean?
I'd argue that, though. Because if you think about it, if you think about the Miami days, back in the day, yeah, LeBron was the star, but he had 2 incredible all-stars by his side. And like
some good role players.
But
at the end of the day, like, people were talking about LeBron, but
they were talking about
Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh were being incredibly successful.
But also, at that point, did he have a ring before Miami? No. So when he got to Miami and he was winning rings, he was like, okay, this is great. I can share the limelight because we're winning. Then in Cleveland, he was that guy. Like, nobody cared about anyone else except
people kind of cared about Kyrie.
A little bit. But then also as soon as Kyrie...
And Kevin Love.
Okay, I don't care about Kevin Love. But
Kevin Love's a nice player, but I agree.
I remember the best.
He wears number 0. Russell Westbrook is the only person I respect who wears the number 0. I hate when people wear the number 0.
My favorite meme of all time is when it was Kevin Love, and it was a picture of him with the Cavs with the trophy, like after they won, and they just like cropped it so it was just Kevin Love, and it was like when you do nothing on the group assignment but you still get 100.
Literally, that's what I'm saying. Like the Cavs, like obviously Kyrie's good, like J.R. Smith's good, like they're not in stretches. But I'm just saying, especially that championship team is what I meant. Like
like when they were winning.
Obviously, there's some good players around him, but like he was LeBron James, and I feel like it's just like gone to his head. So now in LA, it's like LeBron. He's like, we're shit. We're garbage. I'm playing like okay, relax.
He's
relax.
Honestly, I'm the way that I see it. I guess we're jumping right into Lakers here.
Yeah.
Or we'll get back
to the Celtics later.
We
the
gotta
Lakers
talk.
are so
They
funny.
just suck. What else is there to say? You should be better. You have so many
Celtics
good
hate
teams.
each other.
No, the only thing I wanted to bring up about that is the fact that on our last podcast we were talking about the Big Four in the East, and I made a comment saying I don't see it from the Celtics. I don't even think they should be considered in this conversation. And
after the way they
I
played
got
last
shut
night.
down a little bit, but here we are.
Well, I'm a Celtics fan. Obviously, I'm going to say that. That's like when I say stuff about Frederick Anderson, and you all go, "Oh, you're crazy," and then you guys lose in the first round of the playoffs.
It's because you are crazy. Frederick Anderson's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then why can't you guys make it to the second round of the playoffs?
Because we haven't had Johnny Titties yet.
Ew! Don't ever call him that again.
But no. So going back to LeBron, honestly, I think LeBron is just put in like the worst possible situation.
He's hurt. He's still hurt. Clearly.
He's 100% still hurt. But the other thing is like, he's always been surrounded by shooters.
Oh, absolutely.
Always been surrounded by shooters.
Or guys who can create their own offense. Like in Miami, I wouldn't say there was a ton of shooters there, but you could count on Dwayne Wade to get you a bucket. You could pass it into the post or throw it out to the three-point line, and you could count on Chris Bosh to get you some points.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Cleveland, they surrounded him with shooters. You the Kyle Korvers, the JRs. Kevin Love extended his range to come to Cleveland. Obviously, Kyrie Irving is one of the most efficient shooters in the league. But then now you come to the Lakers where you've got like maybe two guys who shoot like above league average, and that's like one of them's LeBron in terms of 3-pointers.
A nice young fellow that you left out of that conversation there is one of the best 3-pointer shooters.
Ray Allen. That's true. Besides Ray Allen on the Heat, they weren't known for their shooting except for Ray Allen.
Ray Allen was disgusting with the shots, but no, I understand what you're saying. And the other thing is like that team is like has some really good players in and of itself, but I just don't really like understand what they were trying to build when they put it together.
I felt like they wanted a scrappy team, which is why they got the Lances of the world, the JaVales, like even Rondo. Like they're very.
Rondo throwing knuckles with CP3.
They're smart. They're gritty players. They're smart. They have all of them have a championship pedigree except for Lance. But yes, of course, we love Lance. But yeah, they ignored their biggest need, which was shooting. The Lakers were a poor shooting team last year, but they were a good defensive team, which we see is they're kind of falling apart without Lonzo Ball, which is crazy development because we all thought Lonzo Ball was
trash.
Kind of trash, but apparently he's really good at defense or somehow keeping the ball out of the hoop at least.
Yeah.
The opposite problem James Harden has.
Yeah, but
defense, don't know him.
But he can put the ball in the hoop like not many other people can.
It's always funny when it's like the MVP conversation. I'm like, James Harden won't win MVP until he learns how to play defense.
No, it's PG-13's year to lose, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I would argue Giannis. I could make an argument for Giannis.
I think you could too, but I think
it also depends on.
Look at how the Bucks are doing, and like you can't really accredit that to Chris Middleton and Brooke Lopez. Like,
no. I think
they've been amazing support. They've been an incredible
that's
support.
The thing, yeah,
but without
Thunder,
Giannis, that team's nothing.
Yeah, the Thunder definitely have a lot more talent when it comes to their roster than the Bucks.
See, my thing with the Bucks is like if Giannis is an otherworldly force. If they were a Greek freak, exactly, he's literally the Greek freak. Like he's a freak of nature. But if these guys like the Brooke Lopez's, the Chris Middletons, the Malcolm Brogdons, if they weren't hitting the threes like they are now, like I think the Bucks, I think there was brought up in the Raptors game yesterday, they're second or third in the league in percentage of their points scored from three point land. Imagine if they were hitting like league average or below. You think the Bucks still have the best record in the league? I don't see it. So, like, I think the Bucks have had, obviously Giannis, amazing player, but I think the Bucks have been helped by all of their guys sort of clicking in that new system with the new coach, and then Giannis having an MVP-level season. But I think it wasn't necessarily guaranteed with the Thunder, especially given how slow they started out, given...
well, that's because PG-13 just didn't pick up speed until, 20 games in.
But now he's like
MVP candidate, and believe me, I say Giannis has a chance to win MVP, but that's not me discrediting Paul George in any way, shape, or form. I agree with you; it's Paul George's to lose, but I think if he loses it,
it'll be the Giannis.
It'll be the Giannis.
And I don't think anyone should be ashamed to lose an MVP to the Greek freak.
Dude, that guy, he's so good. And the other thing is I had a conversation with one of my coworkers this summer, and. I was listening to the Ringer podcast actually, and they mentioned this. They said this question that they got from a fan, which was, if I told you right now that in 30 years or 40 years or 50 years or whatever, way in the future, the best player to ever play basketball was playing right now, and it wasn't LeBron, who would it be?
Yeah.
And Giannis came up, but that wasn't the first
no.
Giannis. It wasn't the first name. The first name you can think of is Kevin Durant. We thought of James Harden, Steph Curry for sure. But dude, it's Giannis. And I wouldn't be surprised. That guy, he came out of nowhere. Literally. Came onto the scene. He came out of Athens.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because he's so obviously he's made such a big statement in his time, but he's still so young that it's just
he's 24 years old, I think. Yeah, he's still he's not
so
in his
young.
prime. He's in his prime, but he's not at his peak.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like, you look at KD, you look at Steph, you look at Harden. Like, they've been in the league for a while now.
Long time.
Whereas he's been in the league, what, 3 years? 4 years?
He was drafted in 2013.
2013, okay. So, like, 5
he was 15th overall in 13.
So,
Yeah.
like, he's so young, so new, and, like, he's made such an impact on this team. Like, I think it's just because he's not been in the league long enough. And also, like, it's the conversation of, like, well, does he have any rings?
Yeah.
Also because he's
The
playing on the
rings,
Bucks.
the rings discussion is one of the stupidest and the
Yeah.
greatest of all time debates. Like I can get it. if
Michael
it's,
Jordan went 6 for 6, and he took 3 years off to play baseball.
Yeah, I get if players are so similar in stats, like that it's almost like indifferent, and then you have one who has rings and one not, maybe. But like when people say like rings like matter like as much as they do, what
Who's
you're saying?
that?
Patrick Ewing, who never won a ring, does that discredit his status as one of the greatest
Who's
centers?
that one guy who literally has like 10 rings and like was a bench player?
Robert Horry has like 7 rings.
Yeah, there's that
he
one
was a
guy.
bench player. Bill Russell's a Hall of Famer, and he has 11 rings. But
I would argue that the NBA, a ring in the NBA, winning the NBA is just, it's like the least
it's not as
like,
valuable as people make it
valuable
out.
one.
to
Exactly, that's the word I was
Like
looking for, the
you
least
could be on
valuable.
a stacked team, or you could be a phenomenal player, or you could be both. Like you guys have guys like Steph Curry, who's a phenomenal player, but he's also on a stacked team.
Yeah,
you
that's
could-
what I'm saying.
You
And
could
like
say
you
that
would
about any sport, really, though.
Yeah,
you would argue, and then the thing with Steph Curry is like, yeah, you can say, oh, he's got rings, but he also has like
All these all-stars around
disgusting
him.
stat
Play
line,
top.
though.
They
Like,
have
Exactly.
2 of the like top 3 shooters of all time in the same lineup,
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing.
and
about-
Kevin Durant
and then Kevin Durant is like
and
then-
Draymond
then-
Green and Boogie Cousins.
Then like Kevin Durant could arguably be like probably top 10 shooter, like for how big he is, top 10
Yeah.
shooter of all time, and then you add him to the 2 of the best shooters to ever.
Kevin
that
Durant's
will ever
6'9", right?
Yeah.
He's listed at 6'9". Everyone seems to think he's like closer to 7 feet. Like
Yeah.
they think he's a lot taller.
I would argue that, yeah.
He's so.
He is he's like standing next to Boogie Cousins, who's listed at 7 feet. They're like literally the same height.
Why would they? I don't like. I understand why you buff stats. I don't understand why you lower stats. Like, why are you trying to make yourself shorter? Like,
Yeah, I think that he was probably a bit shorter.
he
when came out
100%
of
buffs his
college.
weight.
Oh, he's no way he's 240 pounds.
Is that what he's listed as?
Yeah,
no
6'9",
way.
240. No
No
way.
way.
I know.
Pascal,
You know who else?
Pascal Siakam's listed at like 220, I think.
Yeah,
And
he's
like
6'9".
he's 6'9" and on the dot as well.
And he looks exactly like Kevin Durant.
He looks
like,
bigger
in terms
than
of
Kevin
body,
Durant.
in terms of body type.
And Pascal Siakam's so small, and
Yeah.
he looks bigger than Kevin Durant. in my
Absolutely,
opinion.
I agree.
But whatever. That's
Rings are a terrible measure of who is greater than
exactly
who. In
because
my opinion.
at the end of the day, like I would say, like if you think about Tom Brady, obviously Tom Brady's the GOAT, but like it's because of his rings.
Yeah.
The rings help.
It's
a lot.
because he's got six Super Bowls.
No,
Yeah.
a lot of the conversation in football, at least, is the same thing. It's the
Like
rings.
everyone seems to base GOAT on rings
They do.
in football.
Well, that's the thing. Like everyone,
Because-
there's that Brady versus Rodgers debate. Well, Rodgers, your Packers are trash, so obviously you're not gonna win the debate against a guy with 6 rings.
But that's not his fault.
That shouldn't even be a debate, though.
Yeah, like I think like without question, like Rodgers is phenomenal.
Yeah, but
one
you're
of the
saying,
best all time, but
okay,
not
look
better
who's
than Brady.
Drew Brees is an amazing quarterback. He's got 1 Super Bowl.
Drew Brees should have won a Super Bowl this year, but he didn't.
They got
bullshit
gypped.
PI.
Literally, they got gypped. But I'm just saying, like Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
1 ring.
But yeah, 1 ring. And the thing is, even too, like people say Brady's the GOAT because he got drafted 199th overall, and then he became this. Whereas like somebody like Drew Brees was incredible in college. He held like all these Big Ten records until JT Barrett came and broke them. But like I'm just saying. Just because the same thing back in the day, like, are you trying to tell me Dan Marino's not one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
No, absolutely not.
Like he just doesn't have a ring. Okay, cool. The only time he made it to the Super Bowl, he lost to Joe Montana, another one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Like the ring debate is just so stupid.
Joe Montana has 4, right?
He has a lot.
I think it's 4.
He was tied with
Yes.
Brady, I think, until Brady won another one.
Wow, good work, Spencer.
Welcome. Like I
They
remember,
were tied
look
until
it up.
he got another
I remember
one.
seeing this on social media.
No, yeah, Joe Montana has 4.
That's
Yeah.
why it's like.
So
But,
he
like-
was, yeah.
But also, like, you know what I mean? It's like the team you're on, too.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you're surrounded by all-stars, obviously, if Brady didn't have, like,
Belichick?
Gronk and Julian Edelman, like,
Danny Amendola back in the day.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
like-
not back in the day, but 2 years ago.
like 2 years ago, yeah. Like, he has good players on his team, too. It's all about who
And you
you're
gotta also think. I'll take it back to the Steelers here, but Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, but also like Terry Bradshaw was amazing. But, like, he's not like
The best quarterback.
you're not talking about GOAT. When
Yeah.
you're not having the GOAT conversation. I'm bringing up Terry Bradshaw, but he's got 4 Super Bowls. That's the exact same as Joe Montana.
Okay.
Are Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana the same?
No.
No, not at all.
Okay, Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls. He has more Super Bowls than Drew Brees. Like,
Eli Manning's the GOAT. That must be the answer.
he's beat Tom Brady twice, so...
Eli Manning is twice as good as Drew Brees. That's
Ben
twice the
Roethlisberger
rings.
has 2.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. The rings really, like, don't mean
Well,
much. They
they're-
mean something, obviously.
Yeah, you're right. Ben Roethlisberger should have.
I
way
feel like
more.
they.
Oh, shut up.
I feel like they're a good measuring stick, but they're not
only.
They're not the only one, and they shouldn't be valued as much.
Exactly.
Like arguing like the fact somebody's like this always gets brought up in the NBA finals records. That's such a terrible measuring stick.
Oh, yeah.
Like Jerry West, who's literally the logo of the NBA, was 1-8 in the finals. Does that diminish his status as one of the greatest, one of the pioneers of the game?
No.
it shouldn't. Just like 3-6 shouldn't diminish LeBron. Just like 6-0 shouldn't elevate Jordan beyond what he is
That's
right
another thing
now.
too.
Sorry,
Jordan.
I gotta take it back to football here for a second. But Brett Favre has 1 ring. I just
Like,
looked it
are you
up.
saying Brett Favre and Drew Brees are on the same caliber?
No, but
No,
like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're using the ring debate,
Yeah.
well, Drew Brees only has 1 and Brett Favre has 1, so
They're
they've
the
got to be
same.
at the same level.
Yeah,
like,
the
no,
same.
that's a stupid debate.
Yeah.
Circumstance, luck, team. Like
I'm
so
just
many
looking through
things.
this. I'm looking through this list right now.
How many does it say how many times Brett Favre retired?
Yo, guess.
It does not.
Yo, you guys aren't considering this though. Nick Foles and Drew Brees are the same amount of Super Bowls.
Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
better?
Joe
Who's better?
Flacco. Joe Flacco has the same amount as Drew Brees.
Yeah,
I think
like,
Nick Foles is the best out of those 3. Just the intangible super. He beat the GOAT.
Yeah,
That means
he
he's
beat
better.
Brady's. Yep, him
He
and
beat
Eli
the GOAT,
Manning.
and he has the
Beat-
same amount of rings. He's the
Yeah.
best.
Russell Wilson also has 1.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah. There you go. But
They
anyways,
could have had 2 if they would have.
back to basketball because we have not talked about the Raptors yet.
Oh, God forbid.
But these boys are on a roll. Faced off against the Boston Celtics. I don't know if I'd actually call it a face-off because
it was just embarrassing, honestly.
just kind of, had a
It was ridiculous.
incredible little ride there.
Yeah, it was a great game to watch as a fan of the Raptors and as a person who is not very fond of the Boston Celtics organization. No offense, Haley. It was a great game to watch.
I know a lot of people got a bad taste put in their mouth from the Celtics after the whole IT thing. I get it.
Yeah, see,
get it.
I actually like IT a lot.
I liked IT too. I
That
kinda felt
situation
bad for him.
happened, and then
He literally played in a game for them like the day after his sister died, and then they were like, "Well, we could get Kyrie Irving." So
See, my biggest beef with the Celtics is that like last summer, so the summer before this season, they like nobody, especially their own players, would shut up about like, oh yeah, we're going to the finals, like acting like there was no competition for them, and that just like after this underdog team was suddenly acting like they were literally like the Golden State Warriors, that really put a bad taste in my mouth. Like Jaylen Brown literally went on the record saying, "Oh, we're going to the finals, like no question about it." I'm like, you realize there are like. At least, well, at the time it was 2. I didn't think about the Bucks at the time, but I'm like, you realize the Raptors and Philly aren't gonna just roll over for the Celtics, right? And then obviously now we can see all 3 of those teams are arguably better than the Celtics, or at least right now.
There's 4 teams in the East better than the Celtics. The
Pacers.
Pacers are also in that argument. We omitted the Pacers last time we talked about the East, and I felt bad because the Pacers are on a. Excuse me.
you're gonna have to edit that out. That was gross.
I just said excuse me after a sneeze. Is that like that's
No,
not
your
really
sneeze
a
is
thing.
gross. You have such a dad sneeze.
It's because I'm a dad of like how many people are on our exec team? 14.
No, that's gross because I'm everyone's mom, so you're not their dad.
I'm the fun uncle.
He's the uncle.
I am. I'm also the uncle. You said I was Esmel's most drunk uncle on my birthday.
Are you? Did I? Okay.
Yes.
That's because you are.
There's 13
could be
boys.
the aunt.
I am a mother.
Anyways. You
I'm
could
a
be the
mother to
wine
13
aunt.
boys.
Maybe the wine aunt.
Yeah.
I do like wine. No, so in terms of the Celtics though, like even like let's just talk about this game last night. I just the thing with the Celtics that I noticed is like no one is like sparked.
No one's having fun.
Like I'm just looking at the stat line right now, like the box score for the Celtics here. We got Jason Tatum put up 11 points, Al Horford with 8, Marcus Smart with 5, Kyrie Irving with 7, Jaylen Brown he hit double digits at 10.
Yeah, I think Marcus Morris had 17 to lead them.
Yeah, Marcus Morris was 17. When the highest scorer on your team has 17 points, like, that's just not good.
No.
Yeah, especially when it's only one of your starting lineup makes it to double digits. That's usually not a good indicator about how the game's gonna go.
Yeah.
And it's also like not any of your star.
And it's Marcus Morris who started the year on the bench and literally got put into the starting lineup because Gordon Hayward played himself onto the bench.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward put up 9 points in 23 minutes there.
Yeah, he's been I mean, like, it's hard to rag on him too much considering what he came back from, but I think it was a huge mistake bringing him back into the starting lineup to start the year. That's on Brad Stevens, in my opinion. I think that was a big mistake by him.
Yeah, that was a rough go for him. You gotta feel for him there, but like, still, man, like,
Yeah.
you gotta be better. But on that point, Marcus Morris was 17 points. He was a minus 24.
Yeah, he got a lot of his points were like, free throws and like kind of suspect calls where it's like, really, like, was that like a foul? Like it seemed not like he didn't get hit, but it seemed like one of the fouls he got was like Danny Green like went for the block and then like his hand that was like behind him like clipped him in the face. Like his hand behind him, like how, like that's very like. Clearly, he wasn't even like thinking. Like, who's thinking their hand that's behind their body is going to hit somebody when they're trying to block that person's shot?
Exactly. Going back to the Raptors though, because holy cow,
they're on a roll.
They are on a roll.
8-1 their last 9 games.
They are doing insane.
Yeah.
And
they're playing well. They're integrating a lot of their new pieces faster than I thought they would.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy Lin looks like he hasn't missed a step.
Love Jeremy Lin. Siakam's hitting in the month of February 47% from 3. 47% for Siakam.
I don't understand how Siakam plays like a small man though. Like he's
big.
He's a big boy. He's like we said, he's 6'9".
6'9", 220.
But he plays like he's a 2, even at a 1.
He's one of the few players in the NBA. Another one that comes to mind, Draymond Green, who can guard 1 to 5, in my opinion, and he can guard any position from 1 to 5.
I can 100% agree with that. And the thing with that, what comes with that is I noticed the Raptors do it yesterday, is that Siakam, you could slot him in at the 3 and have him play not like a big man. Yeah. But then you have your 4 and 5 as Marcus Gasol and Serge Ibaka.
That's a big lineup.
And those are some big bodies, right?
Ibaka's 6'10".
Nothing you could do about that there.
7.
And then you can slot in Kawhi, who's, how tall is Kawhi?
6'7".
6'7", like that's not a small guy. And then Kyle Lowry at 6'5". Like, that's a big team. It's hard to stop that.
They can play big or they can play small with Siakam at the 5. That, if
you throw Siakam at the 5, and then like you're saying, there's they got some smaller guys that they can slot in left, right, and center. Like Danny Green's not that big.
No, he's actually 6'6". He looks shorter than he is. He's 6'6". Yeah.
He plays small though.
He does, but I mean, Danny Green's like one of those guys where he can be invisible. For me, I think I saw a great quote on this. He can be invisible all night, and then he'll get a shot and he'll hit a clutch shot when you need it. Mm-hmm. Like he's just one of those guys. He always seems to make big shots. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about him.
Yeah, you were saying something very interesting too on the topic of small guys about Kyle Lowry before we started about how this team requires him.
Well, this is the biggest mistake with the Celtics last night is when the Raptors started to go on their run. They made a mistake, but they kept trying to go against Lowry in the post. And he's proven time and time again he's not going to get backed down by anyone, let alone the people there. They're trying to get Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Morris posting up Lowry. Throughout his career, he's been a bigger guy, and like Lowry for his size, like he's in terms of weight, he's about 205 pounds. He is a strong man. He is not getting posted up.
He's also not a young guy. Like no, he's got that old man strength.
He's a spry vet. He is not. He's got that kind of pissed off. Like I'm gonna show you. You can't bully me. Like I'm gonna show you who's really the boss. I guess. Sort of mentality. He always plays like that. A lot of people call him the engine of the Raptors team, which I believe to be firmly true. But yeah, the Boston kept trying to go with these post-ups that didn't work on Lowry. They missed a lot of open shots. They only shot 32% on uncontested looks, which is like, if you can't make the wide open shots, like, you're not going to have a good night. But there was just no fight from the Celtics, which is what really sort of shocked me. I didn't like how they like body language. Obviously, everyone always rags on people for body language. It's kind of a stupid thing, but like I remember
It makes a difference.
Well, it absolutely, you can tell when a team's frustrated. There was one play, I think it was like Marcus Morris or Marcus Smart, one of the Marcuses, throwing like a pass that like just went soaring out of bounds, and then Kyrie Irving just looks at the ground like dejected, like the world is like over, right? Like, what kind of message are you sending to your young guys, especially given how much he's called them out this year for their poor play allegedly? Like, what kind of message does that send if you're gonna like act like a baby, or like the world is over when you just turned it over, right? Like, they have to show more fight when they get down. Like, the staple of the Celtics team from previous years, I'm sure Haley can attest to this, was they were a team that was never out of the game.
No.
Doesn't matter what the score was, you could never feel safe because they came back from countless 20-point deficits, it seemed.
Yeah.
And honestly, the game seemed over in the second quarter last night. As soon as the Raptors went on that run, then what's his face? Robert Williams ended the 18-0 run, and then the Raptors went on like a 15-2 run or something immediately after that. Like, it seemed like the Celtics were just done with the game at that point.
Yeah, and I like what you said about body language, because I do strongly believe that makes a difference in terms of, like, especially with your, like you said, with your older veteran guys.
Yeah.
And I'll take that back to LA again, the way that LeBron's been handling himself there. Even like, I don't know if you saw it, but when damn, I don't remember who it was, but someone hit a three on him.
Bruno Caboclo.
Was it
Ex-Raptor.
Ex-Raptor. Bruno Caboclo.
How hype? That's off topic. How hype was that first game that Bruno Caboclo checked in? It was a blowout against the Bucks, and he hit he hit 2 threes, I think, and then an alley-oop to finish the game. I've never been
I love Bruno,
irrationally hyped up about a prospect. The prospect who's 2 years away from being 2 years away, as he was famously called when he was drafted.
Yeah, he was later though, wasn't he? Like,
He was
like in terms, no, I meant like in the first round. He was like in the 20s. Was he 20?
That was the year Raptors first year they went back to the playoffs. They got knocked out by the Nets.
Oh, right. Like with the classic Masai Ujiri, fuck Brooklyn.
That was, again, I think that's a top 5 Raptors moment of all time.
Oh, has to be.
Fuck Brooklyn, we the North.
What ended up happening from that? Did he get sued or anything?
He got fined.
He got fined
$50,000 or something.
That's so funny.
I think this guy's like, whatever, man.
100% worth it.
Galvanized the city. Anyway, sorry, back to your point about LeBron.
Oh yeah, no. So like, now I'm so happy it was Caboclo. But how do you say it? Caboclo or Caboclo? Caboclo. Okay, that's what I thought. I used to always say Caboclo, and someone corrected me like a year back. Like, ever since then, I just haven't really given a shit about him. But he's a good lad, straight out of Brazil.
What a legend. The Brazilian Kevin Durant, I think somebody called him once.
Yeah, sure. But anyways, so he hit that 3, and LeBron just kind of, like, no one can see what I'm doing, but like throws his arms in the air and like kind of starts like.
Well, he was
like
he was standing in the paint, like he left him wide open on the perimeter.
The other thing is, like, he was trying to find someone to blame where it was his man.
Yeah, it was his man, absolutely. LeBron, I think he's playing hurt, but I think he also needs to take more responsibility because he needs to show the rest of his team that he believes in them. Because I don't think necessarily whether they should feel this way. They are a young team, and they're going to be more prone to bad stretches and getting a bit too down on themselves, regardless of whether or not they should be. So I think that's definitely something to consider with, like, not even like, I get like you're hurt, but try and put as much effort as you can within your limits on the floor. Like, don't do what Kobe did to himself in his last arguably good year, where he dragged the Lakers to the playoffs and tore his Achilles, and then he was never Kobe again.
No.
That was, in my opinion, when his career ended.
I miss Kobe.
He was a great player.
I miss Kobe so much.
Jacked up a little too many shots, but he was a good guy. Good player.
Okay, he put a lot of them dropped.
That's true. I mean,
that was the thing with him, was he would put up like.
He put up 50 shots
easily, but then like.
No, actually, he put up 50 shots in his last game. I'm not even kidding. 22 for 50 was his line.
Yeah, like that's
Pretty
that's still
But
44 points.
when you could
at least.
Yeah, no, he had 60 points in his last
Yeah.
game. But yeah, like some of those were threes. He had free throws in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the best volume scorer of all time, I think, Kobe Bryant. Best volume, not efficient. Like he was not a very efficient scorer, but he was a fantastic volume scorer.
Would you argue Kareem?
What?
Kareem?
Kareem?
Yeah.
What about him?
I think he was the most volume.
Volume? Well, no, I'm not talking. When I say volume, I mean a scorer who scores purely based on like the volume of shots they're taking.
Oh.
I don't mean like the highest scorer of all time is Kareem.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No, because I think he had more games played in minutes than Kobe Bryant did.
Mm-hmm. I have it up now. Yeah, Kareem is first. That's kind of I was gonna say. Like I was like, yo, from what I know, like Kareem is just a beast in terms of just getting so many points, and then it goes.
He also had like a 20-year career.
Yeah, the guy was just not stopping. With the patented hook, and then Karl Malone comes after him, and then Kobe, then MJ.
And then LeBron, but LeBron's probably going to pass MJ by the end of this season.
Easily. How far back is he at?
He's only like a few hundred points, I think.
Yeah, like that's... Yeah, LeBron is 110 points back.
Yeah, that's like what, maybe 6 more games? 6 more games would assume he'd average less than 20 a game. So like I think that's pretty unrealistic for his standards.
I mean, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Hey, Haley, how are we for time?
I mean, we didn't start till like 6:40.
No, I meant
What are we
in terms
for time,
of
what we've done right
how
now?
long have we recorded.
It doesn't. GarageBand does it by like bar, so it's like, see.
Oh, that is odd.
So we just usually record and then hope for the best.
That was why the one was literally like an hour and 5 minutes.
Okay, so what time is it we start? Okay, so it's been like 40 minutes. Let's
It's
assume
been
that.
like 45 minutes.
40
yeah.
minutes. All right.
So,
What's next on the agenda here?
big news out of the CFL.
In
Big
memoriam.
news.
Does anyone have some sad music to play?
Our boy Johnny Football has had his contract terminated by the Montreal Alouettes on the CFL's terms. The CFL basically said to the Alouettes, you gotta get rid of this guy. Because apparently he breached a lot of things in his contract. We're not quite sure what happened. But I mean, it's been a mess. Johnny Football's been a mess since his freshman year at Texas A&M. Just guy partied and then screwed himself over in the NFL. And then got a second chance in the NFL finally. Played for the Ticats for a hot minute. Then got traded to the Alouettes. And now we're here. Maybe the AAF will take him.
Either the AAF or the XFL.
Is the XFL coming back? I think they were actually talking about bringing it back.
That's what I heard.
For years that it's going to come back because the XFL was like,
A meme.
we don't care if you have convictions, a drug problem, you can play in the XFL.
Big fan of cocaine, like Mr. Manziel.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like I hate to say it because I'm the type of guy who loves to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but like
He's had so many chances.
he's had so many chances, and the other thing is like the press release that the Alouettes put out literally said he violated the terms of the agreement, which made him eligible to play in the league. That means he fucked up somehow.
He literally
because
screwed
there's no way
himself.
this was before he entered the league. It's not like he like lied on his resume. Like
No, like they know who he is.
yeah, so like it was definitely he got caught up in some shit in Montreal. I mean the legal age is 18 over there, so you never really know what's going on. No, that's shitty, man, because like he's just a good vibes ambassador, and he just
I do respect him because he got sober.
Yeah,
I don't know
good
what
for him.
I don't know what he would have done to breach his contract because it clearly wasn't like doing drugs because he's been sober for like maybe 2 years now.
Which is awesome for him. Good for you.
Especially because he's like what, like 23, 24.
He's not very old.
Like it's probably really hard when all of your friends are out.
he was
clubbing all the time.
drafted 20.
Well, he won the Heisman in his freshman year in 2012. So
How many years did you play in college football?
probably 3, just like everyone else.
Okay.
So he'd have been drafted 2015.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That is what 2012 plus 3 is, Spence. But let's see.
Spencer's really good at math. 26. He just turned 26, so he'll be 27 this year.
When was he drafted?
I don't know.
This is great radio.
Really good with the stats.
Oh, we
That's what Google's for.
Yeah, honestly.
2014.
Oh, I was off by a year. That's okay.
You fool.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of shitty to see Heisman Trophy winner go like that and just throw it all away, but it'll be interesting to see what for.
Yeah, the Heisman really doesn't mean much in a professional, like, look, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many Heisman winners have blown you? Like, as an Ohio State fan, Troy Smith won the Heisman in 2006, and he was a bust in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, we got two potentially three Heisman Trophy winners who are recently entered the league who are gonna make a statement. But that's actually something I wanted to bring up as well, because the draft is gonna be soon approaching. Who do you think? I know you're gonna be biased.
I'm not going to be biased. Everyone thinks Nick Bosa is going to go first overall.
Okay.
I don't even know who that is.
I'm not asking.
Defensive end for Ohio
I'm
State.
not asking. I'm talking about quarterbacks.
Well, Dwayne Haskins, obviously.
Haskins over Murray.
Well, he's not going to get drafted over Murray, but also there was that debate of, like, a lot of people didn't even have Kyler Murray in their first round.
It's because of his size,
I know.
and like I don't get it. It's like, come on.
But you never know. Also, a lot of people thought, like, the thing is,
No one thought Baker Mayfield was going first.
exactly, everyone thought Sam Darnold was going to go first overall. He went fourth. Like, you really can't pinpoint, like, all the mock drafts in the world don't, like, actually give off what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like, Dwayne Haskins could go second. He could go 18th. You know, it really there's so many quarterbacks going in this draft. You're lucky, actually, like, not you, but, like, people of the NFL are lucky that Justin Herbert decided to stay at Oregon for another year because he's a really good quarterback and he decided to stay. But he would have been up there. It's weird. Like, I would have never guessed, like, Carson Wentz and Jared Goff going, like, 1-2. I'd never heard of them. I was like, who are these people? One was an FCS quarterback. Like,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Like, you just never know.
Well, we're gonna see. Like,
Yeah, the draft is hard because as much as obviously I think Dwayne Haskins is great, he could go second, he could go last.
it also depends on the order.
Yeah, and also, like, look, Johnny Manziel was a Heisman winner. Everyone thought he was going to go first. He went, like, 27th.
Yeah.
He went so late.
It literally just depends on what team needs what, because that's like I've noticed that the most with football is like you draft for position, you don't draft.
Well, yeah,
for player,
obviously.
right?
That was like,
Because like a quarterback is so hard to come by. If you have one, you're Gucci, but if
that's the
you
thing.
don't have one, draft one. Like even if Nick Bosa is available, like
yeah, no, that's the thing, and that's the thing. Like, the 2015 draft when like a bunch of literally like 3 Ohio State players went like top 10. Joey Bosa and Zeke went like 3-4. They're not quarterbacks. It was defensive end and running back because that's what the Chargers and the Cowboys needed.
oh, like yeah, you gotta like think if the Raiders get first overall, like they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
They need one badly.
Yeah.
So regardless of how good Nick Bosa is,
They might not take him.
They're taking Kyler Murray. Or
Well, that
Dwayne
was the
Haskins.
Browns thing too. Like the Browns had the first overall pick, so they picked Baker Mayfield because they needed a quarterback.
Yeah, the Giants also needed a quarterback, and they picked Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley's pretty nice.
That's the
though.
thing. I feel like
Yeah, but that's the thing is
I feel
Saquon
like
Barkley's amazing, but like he did nothing for the Giants. Well, like, he played really well for the Giants, but like they
Eli
still
Manning.
need a quarterback. You need to
I feel
draft
like
for position
I feel like
in the
some
NFL.
teams get greedy though when they want those big name players.
Yeah.
So when you have the 3rd overall pick and Saquon Barkley hasn't been picked yet, you're not gonna go, well, we need a quarterback. You're gonna go, fuck, we're gonna take Saquon. You know,
Goodbye, Eli.
Pick your battles, kind of
I
thing.
do feel that. Yeah, we're gonna see how this all plays out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
It'll be. I'd love for the Giants to end up with one of those two. Like the Giants, I like the Giants organization, and like I think they deserve better.
They do,
considering what
deserve
they
better.
have. Eli Manning, I just hate Eli Manning so much. Man.
Well, they benched
so
him.
bad.
He cried when he didn't start for the first time in 160 games or something.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's like, dude, he's so bad, and he's just wasting all this talent. Because like, I am a big OBJ fan. I love OBJ, and I think the guy is so good. And with a proper quarterback, if you slotted in, I would argue literally any other quarterback. Like
That's in the
I think the
NFL.
Giants would have had a way better chance. Like, could you just? That's why. If the Giants don't,
Where is this sentence going?
I don't know, because I'm trying to think. Because like, I'm trying to think if there's any. If the Giants don't get, because like the Giants aren't going to be picking top 5. They'll be 6 or lower, right? So if they don't end up with a good quarterback, they can do what you did and draft for names. Mm-hmm. And then if I were the Giants, like I'd go after one of Carson Wentz or Nick Foles. Like why not? Yeah. Look for those teams that have an excess quarterback. The same way that like it worked out with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Like Joe Flacco was just kicking around, right? Trade him. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree.
That's just my 2 cents.
No, I agree. It's
worth about a cent.
It's logical to draft for what you need, but I feel like some teams are just like, well, Saquon Barkley's available. Why wouldn't we take him? Stupid. Like,
Shiny objects.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Whatever. But anyways, moving on to baseball. Some news.
Oh, there's one more thing about football I want to talk about.
What?
It's kind of a big deal.
What?
Our friend Robert Kraft.
Oh!
Prostitution.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's pretty bad. Isn't it like almost confirmed it was like part of a sex trafficking? Like,
it was
too?
human trafficking.
Yeah.
100%. I read
bad guy, very bad man.
I read somewhere that what was the
He's
stat?
also like in his 80s, isn't he?
Yeah, he's also like a cajillionaire. Why do you have to like go to some Oriental massage parlor for a rub and tug? Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, just get an escort. Like, why not? Like, who cares? Pay her $1 million bucks.
That's not being legally trafficked.
He also has a 38-year-old girlfriend. Like,
Ew. She's banking on that life insurance kicking in soon.
honestly, like I don't get it, man. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was an absolutely terrible situation. I read somewhere here. I'm trying to pull it up, but they were saying that the girls, like, so to go on what you were saying, it was trafficking, like 100%. But I'll read this off right now. It says, Martin County Sheriff says the women involved in human trafficking ring were given no days off. They averaged about 1,500 men a year. He says their hygiene was minimal at best.
Ew.
That was Perry Russum from NBC 10 Boston tweeted that on February 22nd.
That's 5 men a day.
Yeah.
For like.
That's so sad.
That's terrible.
Your math was not good there.
4.6 or something, or 4.4 actually.
365, 1,500 divided by 365.
It's like 4 point something.
Yeah, it'll be 4 points. It won't be 5.
Well, what you think I'm really gonna do?
Okay,
that?
his math was close. You make it sound like he was
4.5
fully
men
off.
per day.
It'll be less than that.
That's 4.11.
That's just
actually.
disgusting.
Yeah, I told you. Zach's just always right.
Fair enough.
It is true. But no, so yeah, he his wife died in 2011, but he's dating some 39-year-old and he's getting rub and tugs from some
Trafficked women.
probably, it's bad to say, probably like 18-year-old.
Yeah, probably very young, probably not somebody who is here of their own accord or in the situation they are in of their own accord.
I'm just very interested to see what the NFL does about it.
Consequent. Well,
Yeah, we already know they hate the pads.
they're in a situation to really lay down the law in an appropriate way, like when like the Donald Sterling issue with the NBA when he was the very racist remarks when they made him sell the Clippers.
Yeah.
They could do something like that where like, hey, like
The NFL
we don't want you in the league, but knowing them, they're gonna do something really dumb, like suspending like a player for like the season.
Well,
or something.
weren't we
Well,
saying
they can't
that
do that. They can't go after one player because of
weren't
crap.
we saying last pod that the NFL like consistently drops the ball on
Exactly.
On, like,
That's what I was
actual
gonna bring
issues?
up. That's what I was gonna bring up.
Like you beat your wife, you gotta sit out for 2 games.
Sorry, wait, weed out of the league.
Deflated some balls, 4 games. Twice as much as the dude who beat his wife. Like,
Yeah, no, they dropped the ball on that, but this is a good opportunity then for them
To, like,
show.
make
And the
up
other
for it,
thing
yeah.
is like, I mean, obviously, I'm not condoning beating your wife and smoking, but like, or like doing drugs or whatever. But this is ownership. This isn't a player.
yeah.
Right. And I honestly can't really remember the last time ownership was a problem in the NFL. You know why? Because these owners aren't stupid. They're freaking cajillion billionaires.
Yeah, why would you ruin that?
For rub and tug. I don't get
Honestly.
it. I don't understand. Like, couldn't have been that good either. Like, it's silly. I don't know, but I just figured we'd bring that up. We're gonna see what plays out. The other thing with him though is, okay, it is playing devil's advocate here and treading very lightly, he had nothing to really do about the trafficking aspect. He was a patron, and he went twice. Like, it's bad,
Yeah.
but I more want to beat the shit out of the people who were like
Trafficking
these
Yeah.
women than Robert Kraft for going in and getting a hand job twice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm being a little graphic here, but like, I don't really care.
No, I can see that. It's true. It's
Like, it's like.
and I
one of
don't
those-
think he knew. I don't think like he was like.
Well, you really hope that he didn't know.
I would.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if it came out that he knew these women were?
Yeah, or even like looking the other way, like, oh, I'm sure these are people here that are just doing this because they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause they're
like
being paid fairly because they like their
Because they have benefits.
prostitutes have benefits.
how's your health
nowadays.
insurance, sweetie?
I've been to the dentist lately.
Well, apparently their hygiene was minimal at best.
Yeah, so it doesn't
no,
sound like
they've
they're
not been
getting
to
good
the
benefits.
dentist lately.
That's so unfortunate. Like, we
Yeah.
laugh about it, but that's actually such
No,
a
it's
shitty
really
situation.
sad. It's actually really sad.
Well, thank God they busted him, and
Yeah.
Good.
hopefully,
Well, since they busted Robert Kraft, I'm assuming they busted the place.
yeah. The place is done. So they had so the way that it worked was the way that they caught Kraft actually was there was a PI on it, not a pass interference, a private investigator.
I know.
Wait,
I
what?
watched True
You're
Crime
telling me
all
it
the
wasn't
time.
a pass interference?
You're right. Yeah, I don't know. Haley just loves speaking in football terms.
I
So-
love True Crime.
It was
I
also
know
a
what a crime
joke. It
investigator
was a
is.
joke. Okay, let me
too.
finish. No, so there was like detectives and PIs and whatever. It was a long investigation. Like they were like
On
they were
the
like
clock?
scouting these guys.
First 48.
Not even first 48. Like they were like scouting out this place for like
For a
for
long
months,
time?
for months, and that's how they caught Kraft, because in that time that they were scouting it out, Kraft went in twice. They had videos of Kraft going in. Right. So that's the story there, and like Kraft just became a customer at a shitty
Yeah.
time. But on the other hand, what if he was going before and he wasn't getting caught? I don't
Yeah.
know. You never.
I agree. Like, also, like, Robert Kraft just, like, do better, but also, like, if you're a human trafficker, you're actually the scum of the earth. So, like,
Yes.
That's
Both of those things could be true.
yeah. I don't know. Anyways, is that all you had to say about football?
yeah. That's it for
Okay,
football.
I guess we'll close it out with some short football news. Or baseball. One brain cell's
Sports
really tired
ball.
today.
We can go back to football.
Baseball. See, I'm tired. Evan was always our baseball guy, and now I have to fill in for him. No, I don't do a good job. But Manny Machado signed for $360 million. Is that what it was?
I thought it was 300 mil for like
300
10 years
mil?
or something.
I know
Or
negative
3
things
years.
about baseball.
With the San Diego Padres. It's kind of a baffling signage to me because, like, sure, he'll be like their franchise player and like their biggest player. That's clearly why he's getting paid so much money. But, like, when have the Padres ever been in the conversation?
I honestly didn't even know the Padres were a team until he signed with them.
Like, if you're thinking of the 6,000 baseball teams that are in California, you're not thinking about the Padres, you're thinking about the Dodgers.
The Angels.
Think about the Angels. Think about maybe Oakland.
There's a team in Oakland.
You're thinking
Oh, the
about
Athletics.
you're thinking about the Giants. Like, I'm not thinking about the Padres. You know, Dodgers made it to back-to-back World Series. They lost them both, but they made it. San Francisco won
Go
3
Sox.
World Series in what, like 2010, 2013, 2015?
Yeah.
Something like no, that was when the Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. They won 3 in early 2010-ish.
Yeah.
San Francisco's a good team. The Angels, we were talking about, they have Ohtani, like
Mike Trout.
they're Mike Trout. They're in the conversation. Who plays for the Padres other than Manny Machado now?
I didn't say that.
You know? I don't know. I just don't get it sometimes. But
Well, that one star may drive more stars.
that's true.
That's the thing, right? And I don't know much about baseball, so I'm not going to try to talk about baseball, but I do know a lot about LA, and I know a lot of people would be willing to live in LA. Or not LA, in
San Diego?
San Diego.
Oh, please don't pay me $300 million
To live in
here
San Diego.
In San
Right?
Diego.
Like, even if you are
No,
playing for the fucking
please.
Padres, like
No, I
you get
agree.
to go play with Manny Machado and live in San Diego. That doesn't sound like a bad
Yeah, well,
life
that
to
was
me.
like before when Giancarlo was in Miami. Like, oh, I live in Miami and I make all this money. Oh, my life is so hard.
Life sucks.
Shut up, Giancarlo. Sorry, taking it back to football because we have breaking news. Not really NFL, but the first female non-kicker signs a scholarship.
Because there was a female kicker.
There was a female kicker.
What position does she
Tony
play?
Harris, a safety, is the first female football player at a skill position to sign a letter of intent accepting a scholarship with Central Methodist University.
What division is that?
I have no idea. I just saw it on ESPN.
That's pretty big.
Central Methodist.
Because
But yeah.
I know there's been females to sign, I think, highest D2, but there's never been a female to sign D1.
D1.
It is D1?
Yeah. Central Methodist Eagles. And football. Oh fuck! I just hit football on Wikipedia and it took me to the football Wikipedia
What a
page. It's
football
like,
is.
This is football. No, yeah, it's D1.
Wow.
Pretty big.
The Central Methodist Eagles are the athletic teams of Central Methodist University, located in Fayette, Missouri. Central Methodist University is currently a Division I NAIA school. What's an NAIA?
That's not NCAA.
Oh, it's not NCAA then.
No.
Oh, okay, then I don't know. They're D1 for NAIA. Whatever, it's still kind of dope.
Yeah, it is dope, but I'm just saying there's never been a female to sign like a D1 scholarship.
Well, okay,
the
like-
National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. It has 251 member institutions, of which 2 are in British Columbia.
Wow.
All right.
UBC? Imagine?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, UBC.
But yeah, it's not NCAA, so. But that's what I'm saying. Obviously, it's amazing as a woman in sports. That's incredible for her. Like,
Yeah.
go follow your dreams, do whatever you want. I'm just saying that there probably will never be a female like D1 football player.
And that's not even a gender thing. That's a matter of, like, it's.
It's also like safety too.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, because so many people make that argument. They talk about how, like, women aren't accepted in sports. Like, well, I understand that women's sports should be, like, covered more and, like,
For sure, and, like-
well respected, but, like, the fact of the matter is science. Like, you're
Yeah,
not-
no,
there's
women
not gonna
shouldn't
a
be
woman out
competing
there who
against
can-
men. I don't think this is as a woman. I don't
Especially
want to compete
football.
against men, but that's still not saying women who play in women's leagues are incredible athletes.
No.
Have you watched Alex Morgan play soccer? She's amazing. Have you watched Lisa Leslie play basketball? She's incredible.
Danica Patrick.
Can drive a car better than any other girl I know. So, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Breaking stereotypes.
they're incredible in their own right, but you don't have to be able to beat a man just to be incredible. And like,
No.
I mean, there's that thing with the NHL All-Star Weekend when Kendall Coyne, Shawfield, whatever.
She
Yeah,
came like
she
7th
kicked
or
ass.
6th
Yeah,
or something.
she kicked
overall.
ass, and like everyone, like the NHL wasn't going to give her money, so CCM gave her the money that she was going to win instead
Yeah.
because they were like, "Well, you're a woman," but like. She's not, obviously she wasn't the best, she didn't beat all the boys, no, but she's still up there.
She's guaranteed she's faster than like 99% of the rest of the people on the
Exactly. Like
who can
women,
skate.
female athletes are still incredible, but still they're playing in their own right. It's like the same as like an age thing. If you're gonna put an 18-year-old against a 7-year-old, well, I'm hoping the 18-year-old's gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a reason. Like obviously
completely
it's different in like pro sports because obviously pro sports there's literally like 18-year-olds and then like 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
Which I get, but you know what I mean. Like growing up in sports, there's a reason why there's boys and girls sports and there's, you know, junior sports and senior sports because they
Yeah.
know the level of fairness, and I totally agree with that. But yeah, there's like never gonna be a female NCAA Division I football player.
Yeah. It's not at all a skill thing. It's just it's for most of them. It's like it's size and it's
Yeah.
like genetics, right? Like it's just a fact that dudes are on average they're bigger than women, and do you want like a 6'8", 200 or 300 pound guy just crushing a girl who's like
Literally.
how big do you think she would have to get to like not die on a
think
hit?
about basketball. Imagine like a girl trying to guard Zion Williamson.
Yeah, like how is
Run
that
over. That's the thing too. Like female athletes, they like weigh 160 most.
Yeah.
Like all these guys are like 220 pounds. Like girls just don't get as jacked.
No.
Even when girls,
And it's
even
it's not
Yeah.
like not genetic, but like it's a DNA.
It's
thing.
no, it is literally.
biology,
Even those
like-
girls you see all over your Instagram who are so fit and have biceps like this,
They're 140 pounds.
literally they weigh like 135. Like girls just don't bulk up the same way guys do. I mean, I did when I was 40 pounds heavier, but that was fat, not muscle.
You'll like this, but apparently her goal is to play for the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL.
Wow, you're never gonna make it, girly, but I love the effort. Think 1% of D1 athletes make it. You're not gonna make it from the NAIA. Sorry.
We'll see. We'll see.
Have you ever seen the commercial with Jerry Rice?
Yeah, get fucked, Tony.
Fuck you for following your dreams.
I know. I
suck.
sound like so anti-female right now. Did you see that Nike ad with all the female athletes?
I did.
That like made me tear up. Like I loved that.
That was a pretty good ad.
Like that was so powerful. But just like you can't compete against men.
No.
Like,
Unfortunately.
Russell Wilson's not going to be like, yeah, it's my defender. Like, I'm sorry. That's just life.
Well, I mean, she's a safety, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
I thought you said she wasn't a safety.
I said she was
Non-kicker.
Oh,
That's
She
all.
is a
That's all I
safety.
heard.
sorry. You're right. I heard non-safety.
Cool. So, do we want to do
Or 3 stars.
our 3 stars of the week?
Sure.
Yeah. I need some time to think.
Hail Mill.
I don't know, cause like I can't give it to anyone on the Celtics. They suck. I'm trying to think of like trades going on. Like, can I just give my star?
I can go if you want.
Yeah, you can go.
Okay, I'm ready after him.
So, my star of the week is going to be Brooklyn Nets sharpshooter Joe Harris for taking down the Currys, both Currys, with many other Currys in the audience, and winning the 3-point shootout. He drained 27 total points to Curry's 26, and looked like he didn't give a fuck the entire time. When he was accepting the trophy, the announcer literally told him to smile because he just wasn't smiling. He just did not give a fuck. They're like, "What are you gonna do with the trophy?" He's like, "Oh, Charlotte University let me practice there, so I'm just gonna go give it to them." Like, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, no, I think that was jokes. He just like completely shit on everyone and then just didn't care. So like, good for him. He's my star of the week.
All right.
Just, before I say my star, just add on. He's actually, since the All-Star break ended, he's shooting like 75% from 3 too. So like, even more reason. He's just a beast.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. My star of the week is Spicy P, Pascal Siakam. In the month of February, he shot 47% from 3. He matched his career high last night against the Celtics for 4 threes, 25 points. He set a career high in between our last podcast and this one of 44 against the Washington Wizards, who are terrible. So, Spicy P is going to be a huge part of the Raptors' coming playoff run.
Piggybacking off of Zach's All-Star Weekend star, I'm going to give mine to Hammy Diallo just for his insane dunk over Shaq. Does the Vince Carter arm hang and
in the cookie
then
jar.
rips the shirt open to reveal the Superman. That was just incredible.
That was very good.
Like,
Insane.
the thing is, obviously Vince Carter's dunk is iconic, and he did it in what, like 2000?
Yep.
But like, I've seen that clip so many times. Like, I'm over it. Show this one now, because did Vince Carter jump over anyone?
He didn't jump over Shaq.
Nope, you didn't jump over Shaq. So, you've been one-upped. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to the guy last year from Orlando who got gypped in the dunk contest. What's his name?
Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, I still think about that all the time.
Honestly, I think Aaron Gordon's dunk should be like the highlight reel dunk.
Literally,
ever.
and
When he
just
jumped-
like
when he jumped over
down in the air.
When
How?
he jumped over the Orlando mascot under his legs and then
He
dunked
sat in midair.
how did he not win? Like, I don't.
That was
because Zach LaVine, bro,
Zach
he's
LaVine.
amazing.
What a
the
guy.
only reason he won.
Why
is 'cause
didn't
he
we
won
talk
the
about
year
him in
before.
the MVP? Like, literally, I still get heated about that.
What?
Aaron Gordon got so gypped. So gypped.
Yeah, it happens, but
Yeah.
what can you do?
At least Hammy didn't. Who was the guy?
John Collins, who
No,
jumped over the plate.
No, Dennis Smith Jr., who wore the North Carolina high school, J. Cole's high school jersey, and then dunked over J. Cole, which was cool. And then J. Cole tried to dunk, and I was like,
He actually kind of got up there. I was
He
impressed
did.
with his hops.
he did. But
Big news out of Rim Park in Waterloo, Ontario, as of Monday. Zach has done his first dunk
Oh God.
I dunked a basketball.
On an opponent?
No, like in warm-ups, but like I did dunk it, and so I was pretty pleased about that.
Can I change my 3-star?
To
Zach
Zach
Ajazi for
Yeah.
dunking a basketball.
Yeah,
it was actually very
It was pretty
impressive.
sick. And then the other last thing I wanted to touch on before we finish up here is in the All-Star game. Well, going back to Giannis, that alley-oop dunk from Steph.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, his lat was at the rim.
Yeah, he was like a little bit above the rim.
Like
just a little bit.
Like, how does that happen, man? And he did it over Kevin Durant.
No, he's big unit.
Like,
He has
that's
balls.
insane. But that'll wrap up our show for today. Thanks for tuning in if you made it this far. Did you know that we got a total of 8 views on our last video?
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm proud of us.
Honestly, you know what? Everyone keeps chirping me, and I'm like, I just have fun doing this.
Honestly.
This is great. Just getting all my sports
Some
talk.
people listen. Like, you know what?
I sent it to a bunch of people at work.
Honestly, the thing is, like, even if like no one listens to it, whatever, it's fun to chat about sports.
I do like
But
chatting.
people
about-
do listen to it. Like, Ev was saying, he was listening to the one.
Talking about sports is fun.
Who doesn't love sports?
Especially if you're on a podcast, you sound way more credible.
Yeah, put that on my resume.
Just by being on the podcast, you're like, I'm way more credible because I have a podcast and you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you've made it this far, as always, I'm Zach.
I'm Haley.
Oh, I thought I was Haley today. I'm Spencer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Honestly, like I said, I have one brain cell.
Oh shit, I'm Lance.
Lance McCann.
Landon.
All right, signing off, and don't forget, stay off the weed. Thanks, Steven.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.